This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TVLog, and this time around it's Challenge of the Superfriends, brought to us by Hanna-Barbera and DC Comics. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and Happy New Year to you. I'm Doyle, the Big D, and this is a Saturday Morning TVLog. Today it's Challenge of the Superfriends. Probably one of the more controversial types series of the Superfriends series. Or so I heard or read or something like that. Anyway, the show originally premiered on ABC in September of 1978. Now, the show picked up right after the previous series, the all-new Super Friends, however, had came to an end. This, of course, was the third Super Friends series. Now, each episode was an hour long originally, but then, of course, went separate ways. The Challenge of the Super Friends episode, plus new Super Friends episodes, with the core cast of Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Robin, and Aquaman. Plus, along with them are the Spacey Wonder Twins, Zan and Jen, and Space Monkey Gleek, who don't appear in the Challenge episodes, however. Now originally, the first segment was the core cast of the Super Friends. Of course, in a big adventure similar to what we would see at the halfway point of the previous series, the all-new Super Friends Hour. Now, of course, the episodes were later shown in syndication with the opening credits to the previous series. Now, but I'm really going to talk about the other segment, though, and it's Challenge of the Super Friends. Now, this is what came the closest to the comic books. Not only did this have the Justice League of America, it was the first official series to feature actual DC supervillains from the comics, apart from one episode with Gentleman Jim Craig and another featuring Black Manta, who was much more of a different color, And this series had 13 of them. Now, there were 11 members of the Justice League. Now, joining the original core cast of 5, there was also Apache Chief, Black Vulcan, Green Lantern, Hawkman, The Flash, let me see now, and Samurai. Hawkgirl and Atom don't appear, and together they take on 13 of the most diabolical villains of them all, the Legion of Doom. Now, of course, and this was formed of some really bad guys, including the frigid Captain Cold, the sinister Sinestro, the twisted Batman, Superman. Well, almost said Batman, my mistake. The twisted Superman character of Bizarro, and the monstrous Solomon Grundy, the cunning Cheetah, and the computerized android known as Brainiac. And then there was Aquaman's foe, Black Manta, and the hairy Grodd the gorilla. The Toy Man, who will cause fun with his twisted toys, and Riddler. Now, although they were originally wanting Joker to be a part of this, but even though Riddler was excluded from the New Adventures of Batman, which came out the previous year, so they decided to just have him instead. Yes. But anyway, then there was the feminine yet ferocious Giganta and the hideous Scarecrow. And not to mention the brilliant leadership of their leader himself, Lex Luthor. Yes. Anyway, now, of course, our heroic heroes, of course, have their headquarters within the Hall of Justice, while the villains' headquarters is the Hall of Doom, which resembled Darth Vader's helmet in ways. Of course, Their headquarters is located within the swamps. And the Hall of Doom can also fly, too. So, each week, the Legion tries to do their best to try and stop the Super Friends and take over the world, as you can probably imagine. Yep. So anyway, I really did enjoy this. I had only seen the original Super Friends from '73 and some of the all-new Super Friends out when I was a kid. I never got to see any of the others, even though there were other Super Friends shows that came out in the '80s, which I'll talk about those later on. Bill Woodson returns as the narrator, but of course he's uncredited though. While Stanley Jones did the opening narration for the intro credits. Now, of course, Hoyt Curtin, who is certainly no stranger to doing Hanna-Barbera's music, he, of course, does the main theme and original music, composed and arranged. So anyway, this just was so incredible. Mm-hmm. So apparently, with the additions of some of the previous three heroes that were added in the last series, like Black Vulcan, who was based on Black Lightning, Apache Chief, and Samurai. Of course, those were racial characters. They were created to add racial and cultural diversity to the show. This was also mentioned in some of the episode introduction extras on the first two DVDs of the actual series. Yep. Now, I've seen every episode. I've watched it on Cartoon Network and Boomerang, so that means I've seen all of them. After a total of 16 overall episodes were produced for each of this and the core group episodes, the show ended on December 23rd. But however, it continued in reruns though. In 2004, the actual Challenge of the Super Friends series would get released. A year later, the core cast Super Friend episodes followed. Even though they did release solo DVDs containing a certain amount of episodes. Anyway, now each episode features some really crazy stuff that happens, like Super Friends being wanted and what have you, courtesy of the Legion of Doom, which that was actually the very first episode. Or, let's see, when some of them get zapped into another world and go up against each other, or get zapped into fairy tales. Oh, believe me, the list goes on. Still, Challenge of the Super Friends is probably one of the pretty cool Super Friends tunes of them all. It is one of my favorites. It's not really my favorite of all the series, since I've come to being more of a fan of the original series and the all-new Super Friends out, but this still comes close, though. I think this would probably be third or fourth overall. But anyway, yeah. The only Super Friends Hour was what introduced us to all these new characters, but apparently we did get to see all these others, including the Spacey Wonder Twins, in a solo Super Friends Courtcast episode where they would take on other types of bad guys, including the first time appearance in the Super Friends series of Mr. Mxyzptlk, who comes from the fifth dimension. Of course, the only way you can get him to go back is to say his name backwards, which is really tough. Now, the voice acting cast includes Jack Angel as the Flash, Hawkman, and Samurai. Voice Marlene Aragon, who voices the Cheetah. Let's see here. I won't give all of them, though. Michael Bell, who voices the Riddler, plus Zan and Gleek in the core cast Super Friends episodes. Bill Calloway voices Aquaman, and Bizarro. Now Angel didn't do Flash in the first episode, but anyway. But then, of course, he would do it for the rest of the series run. Let's see. Next up would be the late great Ted Cassidy in one of his final performances before he passed away. Of course, Cassidy, you know him best as Lurch of TV's The Addams Family, and he also recently lent his voices to tunes like Hanna-Barbera's Frankenstein Jr. and The Impossibles, and the Galaxy Trio stemming from Birdman, where he voiced Meteor Man. And of course, the same year this came out, he also provided the vocal effects for Godzilla. He does the voices of Brainiac and Black Manta. Let's see. Danny Dark once again returns to voice Superman. And Shannon Farnan returns to voice Wonder Woman. Ruth Foreman voices Giganta. Buster Jones returns to do Black Vulcan. And Stanley Jones voices Lex Luthor. Aside from doing the opening narration to the actual Challenge of the Super Friends series. Casey Kasem returns as the voice of Robin, the Boy Wonder. Don Masick does the voices of Scarecrow and Sinestro. Vic Perrin voices Sinestro. In a few episodes, anyway. But anyway, it's hard to try and keep up with some of these episodes, you know. Let's see here. Let's see. Stanley Ralph Ross, who recently wrote episodes of the Batman TV series. I think it was Ryder. Yeah. And of course he voiced Grodd the Gorilla, or Gorilla Grodd as he's known as in the comics. Of course, he'd also go on to voice Perry White in Ruby Spears' Superman, which came out a decade later after this. Let's see. Dick Ryle voices Captain Cold. Michael Rye does Green Lantern and Apache Chief. Olan Soleil once again returns as Batman. Jimmy Weldon voices Solomon Grundy. Frank Welker, of course, popular voice actor in Hanna-Barbera, voiced the Toy Man. And of course, Bill Woodson, while despite being uncredited, was the narrator of both the core cast and the Challenge of the Super Friends actual tunes and what have you. But there's lots of other voices, of course, and there's also Bob Hastings, Bob Holt, and let's see, Henry Corden. Let's see here. Yeah, and well, just about several others. Of course, Michael Bell and Louise Liberty Williams would once again do the voices of Zan and Jaina, and of course, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it's just there's so many voice actors. There's too many to mention, to be honest. Oh yeah, Welker did Mr. Mxyzptlk in his first appearance as well. He'd also voiced that character in other appearances in the Super Friends series. Which, of course, next year would be going with the world's greatest Super Friends. Anyway, I think this is a show you need to check out. Challenge of the Super Friends, definitely a good show. I mean, if you really want to see a real battle between DC superheroes and supervillains, then this would be right up your alley. So, let me know what your thoughts are on Challenge of the Super Friends in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, be a part of the Big D Nation. And anyway, if you like this, you may want to consider checking out my Saturday Morning TVLogs for the first two Super Friends series. In the upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TVLog I did for Super Friends from 1973. The upper right-hand corner is the all-new Super Friends Hour, or if you'd like to see the Saturday Morning TVLog I did for Ruby Spears' Superman last year. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Stay tuned for my January schedule coming up later tonight. So thank you for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TVLog is Pole Position. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.